They're lying to you.
What is the biggest lie that the devil's ever told? Is it that he doesn't exist? Or is it that God doesn't exist? Before I get into all this, I'm going to tell you a story that was told to me a long time ago. And I never, I didn't realize how true that the story was until I started actually walking with God. And the story goes, one day, the devil and all his hosts were having a large gathering, all his unholy and filthy demonic buddies. And during that gathering, the point of emphasis was, the whole purpose of it was to see how they can doom way much more souls into hell. And during the meetings, everybody was throwing out ideas. All these demonic filths, they were coming up with ideas. And one said, well, how about we convince him that you're not real? And the devil responded and said, well, there's just so much evil in the world, and we know that evil will always get associated with me. So everything bad that's going on, people are gonna need somebody to blame, and they're gonna blame me. So that'll be hard. That'll make people hate me more, and thus they might want to change their ways and go to God. And then another one said, well, how about we try to convince him that God is not real and God is just a hoax? He said, well, there's a lot of good in the world also, and we know that God is always associated with good. And plus, we've tried with all these scientific theories and evolution and all that, and it hasn't worked, so I doubt that it's gonna work now. And then deception, the spirit of deception came, and he said, well, how about we convince humanity that they have all the time in the world? And when the spirit of deception said that, all the other demonic entities, anger and lust and you name it, they started laughing at him because they were like, they didn't see the big picture of that. And the devil saw it, and he was like, you know what, you're absolutely right. Because if they think that they have all the time in the world, then they're gonna procrastinate. They're gonna keep putting off God till later and later and later. And later may never come to them. So we could just go and kill them in their filth, and they will all be doomed here. And then after I was told the story, then I started to thinking about that story and started to play and started to connect it with my life. And I started to realize, wow, all these times that I was just doing what I wanted to do and living how I wanted to live because I thought that I had all this time in the world. It was all just pride and arrogance, thinking that I was in control of anything and that God wasn't. I always said, well, I can always get to God later and later, and later just became later became months, later became years. And I was fighting, and I would try to put everything else before God. I was basically fighting for a future that I didn't even know that whether I will be a part of it or not, because I did not know if tomorrow was promised. So what if today you keep fighting for a future that you're not even going to be a part of? Because we saw that in Luke 12, right? From verse 16 to verse 20 with the rich fool, where his land was just so fertile and so prosperous. It gave him so much crops. And he would say that stuff was getting too big for him, so he's going to tear down his storehouses that he have and build bigger ones. And after he's done all that to store his crops, he's gonna say, self, you have all these things stored up for many years, you can just relax, drink, be happy, celebrate continually. And then this very night, that night, same night, God said to him, "You fool, your soul is required of you." And now who's gonna have all those things that you work for? So basically, like, a lot of times we fighting for a future. We keep saying we want to get this done, get that done, get ready for all that, but we might not even be part of that future, like the rich fool. So then I realized it was just my pride and my arrogance. And then James 4:14 says that our lives is just like vapor, like a puff of smoke. It's here now and then it disappeared. So meaning I don't have all the time that I thought I did. And the devil convinced me that I had all this time, and I kept saying, "God, I'm gonna come to you later, not now. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna enjoy life. I only live once. I need to do what I want to do. I need to sleep with how much women that I need to. I need to have fun, go clubbing, partying, and just doing whatever feels good to me." Not knowing that the devil just was convincing me of this lie just so he can kill me in all my filth and all my foolishness, so that I will never get the chance for God to work in me and work through me, and for God to ever call me to him. The thing is, we think we have all this time and we really don't. I once heard a pastor said, "You know how much money you have in your bank account, but you don't know how much time you have left on your life. You keep saying, oh, you're gonna get to God later, or you need to get right before you get to God, but you might never get that chance." That is a lie of the devil to make you think that tomorrow is promised, and it's really not. Your life is like vapor, and you know how vapor is. It is here now and then it's gone. Stop procrastinating. Stop saying that, oh, you're going to do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised. And plus, what is today but yesterday's tomorrow? It is arrogance and pride to think that we have all this time. Because think about it. People last night had plans for today, and yet they didn't get a chance to see the day. And you had people last night who had plans for tonight who didn't get a chance to see the night. So nothing is promised to us. Time is not promised. The breath that's in our body is borrowed. God lent it to us. And I know I wasn't being a good steward of that breath that God's given. And so I indulged in all type of filth. And then because I had the pride and arrogance thinking that I had tomorrow and that I had all this time, so I will always tell God, not now, not now. I'm not ready for you. I need to enjoy my life and do what I want to do, because I know once I get with you, I won't be able to do or enjoy these things anymore. The devil is fooling us with all that, thinking that we have time, because he doesn't want us to work on our spiritual self. He doesn't want us to get close to God. He doesn't care what life you have. He just don't want you to have that Christian life. He doesn't want you to walk with God. So please stop procrastinating. Stop saying that you have tomorrow. You don't have it. You never know. Our life is just like smoke. Here now and then it's gone. So if God has been tugging on your heart, calling for you to come to him, just now's the best time to surrender, the best time to submit. Because I trust you. What I was going to say is, you can trust that when with God, you're in good hands. You can trust that he only wants the best for you. The devil, on the other hand, he doesn't care. He wants you to join them. Misery love company. He already knows where he's going. He already knows that he's already been defeated. He already knows that the lake of fire is his future, and he wants you there with him. Misery loves company. He doesn't want to be in misery and in torment by himself. He wants others to be there with him. So stop procrastinating. Stop saying later. Stop saying tomorrow. Go to God now. Surrender to God now. Give God your heart now. Give God your all now.